Blog Talk Radio.
This is a girl, George, and the Dragons radio show coming from beautiful Berkeley, California. It's a little drizzly out here today. We have a member of one of the best musical families of all time.
Well, thank you.
His father is Lester Chambers of the Chambers Brothers, so he's part of that great musical family. I seen him on a video singing with a band when he was 4 years old.
that it was. So was
This is the great Dylan Chambers. How are you today?
I am doing fantastic, and hello everybody out there, and it's a pleasure to be on here with you. And
So you've been singing since you were born, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I came out screaming. I was on stage with my dad at 2 or 3, and then at 4 I did that show at Lincoln Center, and there was probably 5,000 or 10,000 people there, and that was a defining moment when you see the audience light up and you see all the people, clapping and screaming and cheering for you, and knowing that you're touching them with your voice, and to have that kind of ability from what you're naturally able to do is just. It's a rare and wonderful feeling. So I knew right then and there, just seeing the lights come up, seeing everybody this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life. There's nothing else that I'd rather.
They just got inducted into the Hall of Fame of some sort, didn't they?
The Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame, not the Rock and Roll yet.
They should be in the Rock and Roll one too.
I know, but that one's got a lot of BS in politics. So but it's like you just got to get the right, because I think every year they pick a new committee who chooses who's actually going to be chosen, or the committee picks the top 20 bands for each year, and I think the committee's changes every year or 5 years or something like that. So we just got to figure out picking the names and tell them put the Chambers Brothers in there.
Boy, your name is my all-time favorite musician. When I first started playing guitar, all I did was Dylan. For the first year, all I did was Dylan. So
yeah,
I'm sure
Dylan.
You got your name from him, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, me and my brother are named Dylan and Donovan, and those are my dad's two favorite poets. So
yeah, they're both amazing.
Good stuff.
That's
yeah,
cool.
definitely.
So how many kids are in your family?
I have a brother and 2 sisters, and but they have different moms. And then my dad adopted an older brother that I have. His name is Andre, and he's in his 50s now. And my dad adopted him back in the 70s to help him out and take care of him and get him off of out of where he was at. So yeah, big extended eclectic family. Rock and roll.
Great. Do you all sing and do music?
No, I'm the only one that does music.
Oh, you're the only one of his kids. What about Joe's kids? Joe was a friend of mine in L.A. I used to play with him at the Central. Joe Chambers, your uncle. Yeah, he's old friend.
Yeah.
I love him. He's so cool.
None of Willie's kids do music. None of Joe only has one daughter, and she doesn't do music. Some of Joe's kids sing with him in the church and stuff, and do a little bit of this and that. But none of them actively seek a professional career in music. I'm the only one out of all of the 40 siblings or 30 siblings of all the 4 brothers that does music. It's crazy. You think that we'd have more people in the family to do it. But once you live inside of the craziness and see all of what happens to get famous and to get your music heard, it's a long way. AC/DC, one of my favorite bands, they say it all the time. It's a long way to the top when you want to rock and roll. So,
Yeah. Well,
but
sometimes it
keep
skips a couple
going.
generations. Like my great-grandparents were famous in the 1800s. They were a musical family. The father, the mother, the 5 kids. They played for 50 years. But they toured in covered wagons.
Oh, wow.
Stagecoaches. They played at the World's Fair, and they played for the Queen in England and stuff. They went all over the world. But this was the 1800s.
That's awesome. Yeah, way back
but there
way
wasn't
back
another
in the day.
musician for 2 generations, after that. And then I'm the first one that came up after that. And then I have 2 or 3 nephews that play now. So sometimes it skips. So maybe your kids will be musicians, or your great grandkids will.
Yeah, or maybe some of maybe some of the grandchildren of Willie or George's will be, wanting to carry on the throne, So.
Yeah, but I think it's in the genes. I really do, because I've noticed a lot of musicians that I met in Nashville, their parents or their great-grandparents or somebody played in it. So I thought I was a fraud. I said, well, there's nobody in my family that plays music. I must be a fraud because it seems to be something you inherit. And then when I came back from Nashville, my grandma gave me all these books and says, well, you're the first musician that's come up in the family, so this goes to you. And that's when I found out about my great-grandfather, which was her father.
Well, there you go, right?
And I didn't know that my whole life. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's genes and conditioning, It's like I grew up everybody in the family was super musical, and then it's like, watching your family do it and having that first-hand, second-hand, and just born in knowledge makes it to where it's like you know things that, that just can't be taught. You walk into a studio or a stage, and it's just like, it's second nature to you. So
yeah, some people get it like straight from their father, like Jacob Dylan. He's a great musician, and Woody Guthrie's son Arlo picked it up, and
Arlo
he's
Guthrie,
really good. Yeah. So some people get it straight off, and then some people just inherit it a couple generations down. So are you recording? How long have you been recording?
Well, I'm working on a couple of new projects right now. I've got a couple of different singles that I'm working on with a few different producers, and then I'm trying to get, my band, my tunes with my band happening, and got like 3 or 4 shows happening right now, and had a couple of things happen last year to where I didn't focus as much on playing live shows, So I'm back to like, with my band, and I'm booking some really nice shows coming up for the end of this year and beginning of next year to get a good little 2014-15 winter tour going on, So
what's the name of your band?
The Midnight Transit, Dylan Chambers, and I put my name up front of it for the time being, since I have some good reputation and recognition.
No, always do that, because bands change, and if you don't keep your own name on it, you lose your following. So always keep your name on it and add the name of the band, or you lose it, because you got to keep it going. And bands change.
I've had it's hard to find the right chemistry of cats. I envy cats that went to high school together and are still playing 20, 30, 40 years later. That's a rare kind of connection that happens, because I swear I've gone through 15 guitar players and 5 bass players and 20 drummers, and it's crazy.
Well,
and always
the natural tendency of thing is because they're all gypsies. They're all, they go on to something else, or they die, or they OD, or they get married and quit playing, or whatever. So you have to
get married,
going.
Quit playing, have kids. That's a lot of what happens up around here in Northern California. A lot of people like settling down and in their mid-20s are having kids and get married, and then that goes to the end of them ever doing any playing.
Yep.
But I mean, also too, I find it's surprising, but when stuff starts getting a lot of attention and blowing up, a lot of people start getting more and more scared, and because they're like, wow, we got to take this up to the next level. I'm intimidated. That's like fire to me.
Sometimes they can't handle the pressure of the press and the fame and the audience and the fact that they can't go out to the store without people bothering them.
I eat all that stuff up. I want all that to happen. Yeah, a lot of people can't. And I'm glad that I eat it all up, because when I have bandmates that can't handle it, it's like, hey, dude, I'll take all the attention. No worries.
I'm that way too. What sign are you? When's your birthday? When's your birthday?
April 27th.
What?
I'm a Taurus. My birthday is April 27th.
Oh, cool. My daughter's a Taurus. Joe Cocker is a Taurus. You know that?
Yeah, it's a good, strong, solid sign.
Yeah, I like
positive,
Taurus.
passionate people that like to go forward and make things happen.
So how old are you now?
I am 29 years old.
Oh, you're still a baby. I'm 70. I'm about your daddy's age.
yeah, that's awesome. You're only as young as you feel, so, yeah.
You're living over in Marin County somewhere? You're over in Marin County somewhere?
Sonoma County, the next county up.
Yeah, it's up over there.
Yeah.
Over there. They
nice
all
place to
moved
live.
over there when they left the Haight-Ashbury. They moved up to there. So
Well, yeah, they
all
moved
the
up
old
here
hippies
because it was
are
like
up there.
country life, and it was nice to live. Now it's getting more and more yuppie and hoity-toity as people are moving more and more north from San Francisco, and they start putting in bigger. Yep, they start putting in bigger, construction centers and shopping centers and stuff like that people don't want around here, and it's like, oh man, you're taking away the mystique and the character of the town. Keep it all old-timey and feeling all like, I don't know. Get sentimental about places. Even though I haven't lived in this area that long, still, yeah, that's true. The only thing that matters is the moment. It's like if you live in the past, you become depressed, and if you live in the future, you become full of anxiety. So just
you got to be
in the moment.
In the now.
Yeah, exactly.
And you got to go with the flow and adapt as things happen. If you don't adapt, you die. Because it's always going to change, and you've got to adapt to it. So as long as you keep adapting,
that's what happens to a lot of people who get stuck in a pattern of life, and then all of a sudden when something drastic happens, they shut down completely and don't know how to move forward because they've never been able to adapt. And that's a good thing about musicians, I guess, because we always struggle and have to figure out how to adapt and make it happen.
We always got to find a new job every day. A job is one day, and then you got to find another job that'll put up with you.
Oh yeah, you got to have got to have the day gig going on, and then you got to have your hustle as soon as that's over, trying to get yourself booked on more and more shows. It's amazing that you explain it to people like, yeah, well, you perform for the love, that's why you do it. And it's like, no, I do that, but I mean, I like making money too. It's like I'm sure doctors have a passion for saving lives, but they sure as heck get big paychecks. Musicians get treated the same way too.
Yeah.
They used to back in like the 16 and 1500s, before there was like theater and arts and music and culture. Those were the people that that was where you'd go get your entertainment on. Now it's like there's so much saturation of ways to get television and Netflix and movies and this and that. It's like people don't have the appreciation for music anymore that they do, especially with the ability to download songs for free and not pay the artist what the song is worth. It's crazy. I think it's Moby or was it Moby or was it the lead singer of Coldplay? One of these cats made a comment like you spend $1 million in the studio to write 10 songs that people don't pay 10 cents for to want to download.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, I gave up on making money, and I'm 70 years old. I don't expect to get famous and become the next Diva. So I just give it away now. Fuck it.
I don't necessarily need to be
get
a
it
diva.
out there, because I've got all this video and TV shows and radio shows and movies and stuff. So I just want it out there for posterity, for my grandkids and stuff, But you're young, so go out there and make some money.
Yeah. I want to make money, and I want to change the world. I want to write positive songs that have powerful messages behind them, to where people listening want to, get involved and do what they can to change the world, because it's like, one person at a time to deal with the crazy that's happening now. I tell you,
well, that song your father and your uncles did, Time, is still relevant right now. I mean, you put it up there, and it's still the most relevant song out there, and that was, what 34 years ago that was written?
Oh, no, that was that song came out in 1966 or 67, so that's 50 years ago, 45, 50 years ago.
It's a long time ago, and it's still relevant.
Still relevant, yeah, definitely. There's you can put that song with any other song that's out now that's talking about changing the world, and it's just as poignant, So I'm definitely on that path. I wanna make sure that I don't just write bubblegum pop, silly, stupid songs that have no meaning, or stuff that
hell with that. Write things that mean something to you,
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, what gets sold and what makes it to mainstream, you got to play the game a little bit and cater to what, the majority of people want, so that you can get famous enough to where your messages are heard. Otherwise, you're singing for 100 people, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's just preaching, his way of thinking to me. I don't need to hear this." It's like you got to captivate an audience and get them to, want to be a part of what you do. And then you start really speaking out about changing the world, and they'll actually listen and have it'll have a much greater influence, so. But it's all part of the plan, my dear. It's all part of the plan.
Do what you got to do and just keep doing it.
Can you dig it?
So you're not married or have any kids or anything? You're not married or have any kids or anything?
No married, no kids, no girlfriend.
That's for later.
Pretty much focused. I mean, if it happens, it happens. But I mean, it's well, I'm not trying to have any kids anytime soon, and more than likely won't get married just because I don't agree with half of what entails with society's expectations of that. But I don't know. I find awesome people that I like to enjoy my time with, and there you go. But it's hard because it's like you work a job and then you come home and try to get your music going. It's like it almost feels counterproductive to go out and you end up not meeting anybody. I'd rather spend that time writing music or getting my talent heard and getting myself exposed and whatnot. So I'm sure the right time, the right people come into my world, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, it'll come along when the time's right.
Right. Yeah.
So, are you planning anywhere coming up? Anything coming up?
Yes, on the 9th of December the 9th, I'm playing over at 19th Broadway in Fairfax, and then December 18th, I'm playing at Zodiacs in Petaluma, and then on December 27th, the last Saturday of the year, I'm playing at Burgers and Vine in Sonoma. And then I've got a couple other things in the works for January and February. So playing a couple of shows in the city in February, I think, and waiting for the confirmation from the booking agent and everything. And a couple of cool things coming up in January. So I'll definitely keep you posted. And as soon as I get it all solidified, I'll put it all, on like a one tour kind of list on my Facebook and my website, so everybody can know where to find me.
Yeah, they can always find you on Facebook and then find all you.
Yeah, I'm pretty active on there, and I'm pretty responsive when people message me. I message them back and talk to them and whatnot. My friends list is almost full, so, but I mean that's okay. I can still, if it's somebody that's really cool or especially cool or that wants to really talk to me or whatnot, I still got space,
Yeah, I love Facebook. That's how I can book this show. I just see who's on it, because all the musicians are on mine, If you want to look up any of your old friends, just go on in my friends, because I've got every musician in the Bay Area and the ones in Nashville and the ones in L.A., all my old friends are all on there. So when I want to book the show, awesome? I just see who's there.
Yeah, what's cool too is finding I've been able to find people that I went to or middle school and high school with and stuff on Facebook,
Oh,
people
I know.
you haven't talked to in 10, 15
found
years or something like that.
I haven't seen in 50 years, And Lyle Tuttle, it just came up that he moved back to San Francisco, the tattoo artist, the tattoo Janis Joplin and all them. Well, he's moved back to San Francisco and he's opening a tattoo museum in his old shop on Columbus there in North Beach, and he's been up in Ukiah for the last 20, 30 years, but somebody put it up that he moved back to San Francisco, so now we know he's back.
I wonder, I'd love to get one of his apprentices to do some ink on me. I love tattoos, so got a whole kind of pirate
thing going on. You should go and see him. He's 83 years old, so you should go meet him. He's really a cool guy. I've known him for 60 years.
Yeah, I'd love to, yeah. I hope he has some apprentices that he taught how to do his thing.
He's on Columbus there, in that old shop. It's a couple blocks from Bimbo's.
Sure. Okay, cool.
Because he's had that shop for years, and then he just took it back over and he's putting his museum there. He lives right upstairs, so he's there. So go by and see him. Tell him I sent you.
Yeah, I will. That's awesome.
So what's your uncle doing? Joe Chambers. I haven't seen him since about the 80s.
So Uncle Joe and Uncle Willie and Uncle George all live down in whatchamacallit?
L.A.?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's where I knew
brain fart for a second. Yeah. Uncle George is doing a lot of church stuff and not necessarily playing too much. And then Uncle Willie and Uncle Joe play at a few little places in the Valley and in Hollywood and stuff. And I don't know if they're working on any new music or anything like that.
Cantors,
but, you know,
don't they play Cantors sometime?
Cantors, and then I think they play at the Universal Bar and Grill every once in a while. And then I think they also play over at what's it called, the Rainbow Room next to
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Roxy, right next to Roxy.
Roxy, yeah. And there's another little cafe that's next to the Guitar Center there on Sunset. I think they jam there a couple of times. You know, they do. They're doing their thing and whatnot. You know, but yeah, they're all still rocking and rolling and living and healthy and, you know, making it happen. So that's cool. Unfortunately,
so you write your own songs, right?
Oh yeah. I probably play like one or a handful of couples in a set, but it's oftentimes it'll be like like we do the kind of like the small or the Faces version of I'm Losing You, that kind of the one that they did from the Temptations, we'll do that stretched out kind of rockin' version, and then we have a couple of blues. We do Throw Us Gone and kind of put our own little fill to it, but stuff like that. We don't try to take a bunch of well-known songs and redo what other cover bands or tribute bands do. That's cool and it's fantastic, and I have a lot of great friends that play that, and it's awesome to see. But I like people hearing what I've got to say. So majority of the stuff is all written. So. Do
you do any Dylan stuff?
You know what? We don't have anything in the. I have before, but I don't have anything in this.
You should do a Dylan song. Times Are Changing is a great song.
Yeah,
that's always revelation.
Well, I gotta find one that's like just got a right feel to where we can kind of all along the Watchtower it and do our own kind of thing to it.
Yeah, everyone liked that one too back in the day. Along the Watchtower is a good one.
But
yeah,
Bob Dylan said in a statement that after Jimmy did that version of his song, that he felt that was like how the song should have actually been, and
so
it was like that. That was like after that he started playing it Jimmy's way and not his way. It's like that's the kind of tribute, or like how I'd like to.
Same thing happened with Christopherson and Janis Joplin when she did Bobby McGee. She completely changed the whole feel of it because it was a real slow country kind of song when he wrote it, and she even changed one of the verses. So just a couple words in it, which changed the whole meaning to it.
Right.
So after that, he
definitely.
never could see it any other way except for the way she did it. When I do that song, I do it like Janis, even though I knew him before I knew her. And I did it his way first, but then she did it so good, I do it like her now.
Some of those powerful cats like that are just one of a kind. When they speak or sing and put their own twist on something, it's like, oh man, you can't touch that now. And then it almost becomes like their song.
Joe Cocker could
exactly,
take a song and you could no longer ever see it the same way again. Joe Cocker.
Yeah, have a little faith with my friends. It's like, come on, you got to be kidding me. There's no way that you listen to the Beatles version. Obviously, it's fantastic, but then you listen to what he did to it, and it's like, oh man, that's now his song.
And something in the way she moves. My God.
Oh yeah. That'd be fun to take a Beatles tune too and remold it. So. It'll all come to be. I'll make sure.
And the Stones,
I'll make sure that
the Stones have some great songs. The Rolling Stones, I love the Rolling Stones.
I like doing Satisfaction. That's always a good.
Well, I did Satisfaction for years. I used to end every show with Satisfaction because I'd have them banging on the table. I have everybody, all the musicians in the place up there playing, and everybody else would have these ashtrays that'd be banging on the tables. You could hear us 5 miles away.
That's usually my set closer too, is Satisfaction, because it's just such a great, powerful, get everybody up and singing, have them start singing along with the I can't get no,
Yeah, that's such a rock and roll statement.
Dig it. I can't get no satisfaction,
Yeah.
And the lyrics too. You know, when I'm driving in my car and a man comes on the radio and he's telling me more and more about just some useless information, it's like, man, that's heavy. You know.
Yeah. And there's always, of course, a dirty line in a Rolling Stones song about I was on the floor doing this, doing that, and trying to make some girl.
Trying to, you know, and I'm doing
the
this and
Rolling
I'm trying
Stones
that. I'm trying to make some girl.
something dirty in there. They were terrible, but they you know, you make a dead man come is in one of their songs.
That's the, you know, that's funny. That's brown, what is that, Brown Sugar, I think.
No, it's
you
make
sugar.
a grown man cry.
Oh, what I'm trying to think of this. What?
Well, on the end of it, he goes, "You make a dead man come." They like that word a lot because it's a lot of them. Let it bleed.
That's the song.
Too.
Start me up. That's the song.
Start
me up.
Yeah. I never stop.
You could stop me.
So you're a Stones fan too.
Oh yeah, love the Stones.
Yeah,
Monkey Man. I love that song. I think "Let It Bleed" is probably one of their, or "Goat's Head Soup."
Oh
Those
yeah, I
used
to
really,
let it
really...
bleed for years. Love it, love it,
yeah.
love it, love it.
Yeah, I'll tell you. And then Bobby Keys, their sax player, man.
On. Or you can cream on. That's it. Oh, and he's you can cream over me. They're a vulgar. Shooting up in the basement, in my basement room with a needle and a spoon. Oh my goodness!
Right? Yeah, or
I'm not a
Heartbreaker.
junkie. I don't approve of doing junk, but having that in a song was just so bizarre.
Yeah. Or that song "Do Heartbreaker,"
Yeah.
The police in New York. That song's relevant right now too. Shot a poor boy in the street of a case of mistaken identity. I put a bullet in his heart. Oh, and I said, "Heartbreaker, heartbreaker." That's what I love that song, right?
That's great. It was great having you on the show. We're running out of time.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah,
time
gotta do it again
by
soon.
So fast.
Yeah, it does.
We'll look for you up on Facebook, and you can put all your other stuff, how we can get all the music and stuff on there. This is the Girl George and the Dragons Radio Show.
Thank you all very much.
Yeah. Yeah. See you later, alligator.
In a while, crocodile.
Yeah.
Everybody's